Yeah, this is a part 2. We should not have lesbians in video games because it's awful, it's wrong, it's just shitty. And when I say this is a fact, and I know the truth that I'm spewing. When I say this, I say that we should not have a heterophobic agenda being pushed, as what I was explaining in the last video, that we should have things going forward, and we should definitely not be promoting it in the video gaming zeitgeist or in media in general. We all know how it ends. It doesn't end very well for anybody. And when I seem to see something that I don't like, it ends up going from bad to worse. I mean, I try to tell people multiple times, don't ship characters in LGBTQ situations, which is not good, by the way. And yet, people ignore me. Game developers ignore me. People ignore the fact that I really would prefer Jason Dragon Sleeper Harem situations. But no. Not even in my own hometown would people ever know how awful it is. You try having your comfort characters be shipped with someone else instead of your original character. It wouldn't feel so good. But people downplay it, and it's not right. How am I gonna go and just end up having a well-established lore or backstory for Jason Dragon Sleeper when people, namely dev studios, keep on screwing that up for me? They need to stop it. They need to quit. They need to quit letting outside influences such as Sweet Baby Inc. and Embracer Group, Rocksteady, BlackRock, having a hand in what they're doing. They need to take feedback, even if it's mean, malicious feedback, about what people don't like and what people do like, and removing things that people don't like from the lore and keeping things that people like in the lore. And with that being said, I'm just so tired of having like my lore being my Jason Dragon Sleeper, aka 80s, 90s lore being ignored by the media. How am I going to end up just making so much money off of what I need to make money off of when people keep on ignoring it and people downplay what I'm really wanting to have happen? We don't need LGBTQ representation in media anymore. It's causing a problem with me, with everybody else. And it's not a good thing. How am I gonna end up with nothing to show for my hard work when it comes to things like that? It's not right that I get ignored, let alone in my own hometown, getting like my shit ignored by game dev studios who should not be doing these kinds of things. They should not be making ships that are not welcomed. If I wanted things like that to be done, I would have asked them to do it. I would have asked them to make ships that are like what they're doing. And if I didn't ask for that, they should not be doing it. I should be getting, my shit taken seriously. My stories taken seriously by the media and having better representation of new characters that are to be coming out of the woodworks and being well established. And people think it's okay to make like NSFW fan art of characters I don't like with characters I like, which is extremely disrespectful to me. How are people gonna say, oh, well, get over it? No. I put a lot of hard work into creating Jason Dragon Sleeper, and people just amply ignore it for no ample fucking reason. People need to grow up, stop ignoring my hard work, and start doing things that is expected of them to do. I'm not trying to be a monster, but people keep on trying to make me out to be a monster because they don't want to do anything. They refuse to do anything that is politely asked of them to do. And they're always making excuses. And yet, the stupid game dev studios ignore my hard work and not acknowledge or the whereabouts of my hard work of trying to get my original character well established. And yet they don't respect it at all. It's hard to even get things well established when people don't give a shit about your hard work. And I blame everything on game studios, other comic book writers, and Hollywood that doesn't pertain to anything of hard work that I've been putting in. And I blame everything on the lack of love for the craft I've been doing. And how are they gonna preach about oh, why don't we just have woke ESG trash instead of something good, something tangible? And I've been promoting it online for a long time. How are people gonna be that stupid to ignore and downplay it every single time? People should know I don't like other character ships that are not centered around Jason Dragon Sleeper. And I'm not going to go out of my way to tolerate that kind of thing any more or ever again. I love what work I do. I expect people to jump on board with that. It's not that hard for people to do. Start jumping on board with what somebody else is doing. It's not that hard to show up and comers respect for what they're doing. And how is it that people think, oh, well, why don't I just run my mouth about oh, why don't I self-insert just to piss somebody off and downplay and degrade what work they're doing? I'm trying to get Jason Dragon Sleeper well established, and people are just screwing that up. How do people think it's funny to screw up somebody else's work? People need to grow up and start respecting somebody else's work that they're doing. And the game devs and everybody else in Hollywood and in the gaming industry need to start respecting what I'm doing. Stop ignoring what I'm doing and stop ignoring the promotion that I'm doing for Jason Dragon Sleeper by shipping him with multiple female characters that are already well established. It's just not right that people want to do that. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. I've been working too hard on the Jason Dragon Sleeper thing, and it's a part of my craft. And people think, well, why don't I just be rude towards somebody and not actually respect what they're doing? And spare me the whole, oh, woe is me song and dance. You just keep on shouting at me, verbally abusing me when I'm just being a fucking troll. I don't care. Respect what I do. Respect my hard work.